Hey, hey, hey. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So glad that you're here, so that you're coming. For those who are going to join me live, I'm so excited. I can't wait to have this conversation with you tonight. Tonight is going to be it. It's going to be lit. That's my new thing now. I heard some young people say it. I think I was watching some reality show. I don't know. But let's just see who's on. When you come in the room, say hello. Say hi, Jay. So glad that you're joining me tonight. And you know the routine. I have to just share this broadcast with everyone. Hey, sis. Thank you for joining me tonight. Love you, boo. Let me share. Sharing is caring. So share while I'm sharing. You share. And we all share. Because we want everyone to see this. Right? And I'm going to share one more place. So come on in the room. Make sure that you have your favorite beverage. Make sure you're in a space where you can actively engage. I want some action tonight. I want to see. Now, I'm not going to be able to see the comments. I'm sharing in two different pages, so I won't be able to see everyone's comments. But look, guess who's back on Be Live? I'm so ecstatic. Okay, I'm so excited. Thank you, Be Live, and thank you, Facebook, for partnering and giving us such an awesome platform, because I'm excited. I love it. Last night, I it was what it was, but tonight I'm back on Be Live. I'm back on my favorite platform, and I'm ready to rock and roll. So, if I wanted to thank everyone for joining me tonight. Thank you. When you come in the room, say hi. Let me know where you're from. Let's conversate. Be nice. I'll be nice. And let's talk about this thing. So let me introduce myself. First of all, how many times have I said thank you? I probably said it 5 or 6 times already, but I didn't thank the replayers. So thank you for those who are going to watch the replay. How about that? So let me introduce myself. I'm Jay. I am the founder and CEO of Matters of My Heart. I'm also the creator of the I Am Empowerment Movement online support group in Facebook. It is a private group for adult survivors of childhood, domestic, and sexual abuse. And so I'm here with you for the whole month of July, Monday through Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I'm here sharing with you, I'm doing a series called The Ghosts That Keep Me Awake. And so, last night, if you missed the broadcast, I talked about let go and let God with no instructions, right? A lot of times when we go to church, they say to us, let go and let God. They say to us all kinds of cliches, let go and let God. Jesus can work it out. You're the head and not the tail. They say all of these things. Some of them are biblical, and some of them are just catchy cliches that they say in church. Praise God, hallelujah. No. What is it when they greet you? Let me stop talking about the church, folks, before they be knocking down my door. But the premise of last night conversation really was to how, someone who's going through emotional pain, when they go to church, they expect solace, they expect support, they expect answers to their questions, they expect healing, they expect, to be, find the answers to whatever it is plaguing them. And instead of finding those answers, sometimes they find something that, is sort of like an empty shell. You get part of the answer, but you don't get the whole thing. So you're left empty. And one of the cliches that I tackled last night that I talked a lot about is let go and let God, with no instructions. They just say, let go and let God, and walk away. And you're still feeling like, well, what the hell? What do I do? How do I do that? So last night I gave some instructions. Last night I went deeper into how do you move from a place of hurt and pain and brokenness to emotional healing and moving forward with your life, and moving forward with your life without the pain, and moving forward with your life with that pain. Like, how does that look? So we talked about those things. So if you missed the broadcast, check out go to my business page. It's still up for this week. I was having technical difficulties, but who cares? Listen to the audio. I mean, it was bomb. Can I say that online? I think I did. Well, anyway, there are certain things you can't say anymore. Hey, thanks for joining me. Whoever joined me tonight, say hello. I would love to greet you personally. Thank you for joining the live. I'm so excited. I hope you have your favorite beverage, or, you're ready to receive what I have to say tonight. Let's have a great conversation. Like, I want people to interact with me. I don't want to just do all the talking, though I love to talk. But talk back to me. Let me know that what I'm saying makes sense to you. So tonight's conversation is going to be kind of piggybacking on, yes, I'm ready. Yes, tonight's conversation is going to be piggybacking off of last night's conversation. And, if you just now tuning in to the series of the ghosts that keep me awake, a ghost is, let me define that again for you. And I might define it every night, every time I do this episode. But a ghost is a dead person haunting the living. And in our situation, let me show you. Who is this broadcast for? It's for anyone dealing with emotional pain. It's for anyone who's dealing with trauma. It is for anyone who is stuck in that place of darkness, in that place of pain, in that place of confusion, or the place of just being stuck, That's who this broadcast is for. Who it ain't for? Anyone who think they have all the answers. Anyone who think they can fix themselves. If you've gone through something so deeply emotionally painful, but you have all the answers, and everyone else is the problem and not you, and you can fix it, this ain't for you. So you might want to tune into something else or someone else, because this ain't for you. Now let me get back to what we're going to talk about tonight. For this particular month, I have selected a couple of topics, a couple of ghosts, if you will, that haunt us. Things that keep us awake at night, things that keep us tossing and turning, things that keep us from being able to experience peace and joy and happiness. Those things that block us from living out our purpose. Those are ghosts, and they haunt and they taunt us. They tell us that we'll never be anything or never be anyone, or that we'll never amount to anything. You may even hear people say that. I mean, sometimes your dead person is alive. They're just dead inside. And so they say things to you to put you down and to keep you in that place of what they would call submission to them. under their control. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that this month. We'll talk about your environment. But tonight, I wanted to tackle one of the ghosts, and the second ghost, I think the last ghost last night, if I can talk right, was the church and spiritual abuse. That's what I talked about last night. Tonight, I'm going to talk about inner demons. Now, I'm not trying to scare you. Don't be afraid. This is not an episode where I'm going to go into demonic spirits and witchcraft and all of that. That's not what this is about. Instead, this is about secrets that we keep on the inside. We're going to talk about tonight those secrets that we hold on to, that I'm calling inner demons, because those secrets taunt us and haunt us when we're alone, when we are trying to sleep. In our sleep, we have nightmares about these inner demons and these secrets that we really don't want anyone to know about. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about those inner demons and why I felt like this was an important. Hey, Dr. Tiff, how are you? Welcome. Thank you for showing up tonight. Appreciate it. I feel so honored to have a doc in the house. Yay. So tonight we're going to talk about those inner demons. And so I kind of listed some of those inner demons. And those inner demons, as I said earlier, they're the things that we keep on the inside. They're the demons that we let no one know that they exist, right? For a way of protecting ourselves. First inner demon I want to talk about is guilt. Sometimes when you've been hurt, and I say this all the time. I say it all the time. Ever since I heard Joyce Meyer say it years and years ago at one of her conferences, I've incorporated that into my conversations because it's so true. Hurt people hurt people. Hurt people hurt people. So if you're living in a place of hurt, if you're living in a place, good to see you too. You're living in a place of pain. What do you think is going to exude from your soul, from your conversations? Hurt people hurt people. And so when you're in a place of being hurt or you feel like someone offended you, what are you going to do? You're going to react back in a way that you think is going to hurt them. Because that's a natural reaction from hurt people. And so maybe at some point in your life, you've done something that you regret. Maybe you took that hurt to an extent that was way too far. Hey, Susan, thanks for joining me. Be Live is a platform I'm using right now. It actually streams live on Facebook. So what you're looking at now is a platform that streams live on Facebook. That's what Be Live is. My sister says, cause them to feel the pain you're feeling. Yes. Yeah. Oftentimes hurt people because they want you to feel what they feel. But see, the caveat to that is there's no way that person can feel what you feel. They're not you. They didn't experience that action the way that you experienced it. They didn't receive it or perceive it the way that you did. So it's kind of like, it's one of those things where it's hit and miss, where you think you can hurt them. And sometimes intentionally we hurt people, try to hurt the next person worse than how we feel, if that makes any sense. I'm still talking about guilt. I'm still talking about that inner demon. And I'm bringing all of this up because sometimes we may have taken that thing too far and we regret it. And we may have even apologized, or maybe not. But now we're carrying that guilt on the inside because and I'm going to say it this way, we allowed someone to take us out of character. We allowed someone, the second part of this is we allowed someone to touch that pain point. And a pain point is sort of like a sore, right? It's sort of like a sore. And if you keep picking and picking and picking and picking at it, it's going to open up again. And so the healing never really takes place in that sore because you kept picking on it and picking on it and picking on it. It's also called a trigger. And so once that trigger is hit, once that trigger is triggered, once it's touched, then our natural reaction to it is to defend ourselves. And in that defense, we're telling ourselves it's for our own protection. So we may respond in a way that will cause us to come out of character, to act a butthole. I've been there. I've done some things that I'm not proud of. But rather than forgive ourselves for responding in such a way and realizing that, hey, that was a trigger for me, and now I know not to put myself in that situation again, rather than responding like that, we take on the guilt of it. And so anytime that subject comes up, it's still a pain point because we're not dealing with the pain. We're still covering and holding on to the guilt of it. Does that make sense to anybody? That guilt is an inner secret demon that we hold on to. And that guilt will keep us stuck in that place of pain. But it'll also cover itself with denial. Denial that I'm in pain, denial that I'm going through something right now, denial that I'm holding on to something that really like plagues me, but I'm never going to tell anybody about it. I'm going to walk around and pretend like everything is okay. But when I lay my head down at night, I think about all the wrong things that I've done, all the mistakes I've made, all the people that I've hurt. And that guilt eats me alive on the inside. It's like an infection. As a matter of fact, all of these inner demons that I'm talking about, it's like an infection. And if you don't do anything about it, if you leave that infection, just like any other infection, if you leave that infection untreated, it spreads. It spreads to your heart. It spreads to your mind. And then it spreads to this tongue. That's why I say hurt people, because it's not necessarily with your fists that I'm talking about the hurt people. I'm talking about with that tongue. We can say some things to someone that could literally kill their spirit because we're in that broken place. And so we go around and we're damaging relationships after relationships after relationship. But because we're in denial that we're in pain, that other inner demon, that denial thing, that other inner demon that we don't talk about, because we're in denial, we can't see the infliction and affliction that we exude on other people. I'm talking about the ghosts that keep me awake at night. Tonight, I'm talking about the inner demon. Thank you all for joining me for now. Those who are joining me live, those who are watching the replay, I appreciate it. Tonight, we're talking about ghosts that keep me awake. And we're talking about the inner demons. No, we're not talking about witchcraft. No, we're not talking about demonic spirits. We're talking about secrets that you have on the inside that you don't share with anyone. Shame. So far, we talked about two of them, two inner demons. We talked about guilt. We talked about denial. Third one is shame. Shame of decisions that you've made. Shame of behaviors that you portrayed. Shame and guilt kind of like parallel. Sometimes they touch each other. Sometimes they're parallel, but they're really, really close together. Shame and guilt. You're guilty of the act that you did, and you're ashamed of the act that you did. But sometimes you're ashamed of how people perceive you. That make any sense? Oh, my sis. Honey. That's a word in itself. You know what? I probably need to add that onto my list to talk about. That mask that we put on. Yeah. The mask. Because we don't want people to really see who we are. That's why they're inner demons. That's why we hold on to them on the inside. But they plague us. They haunt us and they taunt us. Oh, you better not go around so-and-so. They know what you did. Oh, you better stay away from whosoever. They saw you act a butthole outside in front of the club. Oh, you better not go near sister so-and-so, so-and-so. You know your wife talked to her. You know your wife probably told her everything that happened in the house. These taunting thoughts that we have, these conversations, that's actually another conversation by itself that I'm going to have, a separate live that I'm going to have, simply about the conversations that we're having within ourselves. I call it check yourself before you wreck yourself. Trying to get a little, yes. So you're understanding what I'm saying. That's good. Talking about ghosts that keep us awake at night. I'm talking about these inner demons. Here's another one. Anger. Uh-oh. Anybody in the group has ever been angry before? There's one thing to be angry, and then there's another thing to act on it. And again, all of these are inner demons because it's all about how we respond to those triggers. Those triggers that push on that pain point. And it causes us to respond in a way that hurt others. I'm not talking about being hurt, because we are in a hurt place, but I'm talking about those inner demons of actions that we've done rather than seek help for our emotional pain. We took it upon ourselves to be God. Why do I say be God? Because we are exerting vengeance upon anybody in our path. It doesn't even have to be to the person who offended us. It can be anyone in our, and most of the times it is the ones that are the closest to us, because they're near, right? They're in our space. And so whoever's around us is going to catch hell because of those inner demons that we don't talk about, that we don't deal with, that we don't face head to head, that we don't seek help with. We just let them lie. And they're not lying dormant, like they say in church, lie dormant in us. They're not dormant. They're taunting us. They're haunting us. They're active and they're alive because they control how we act when we're awake. They control how we behave in relationships, how we view relationships, how we view partnerships, how we view ourselves, how we view gender, how we view politics, how we view society and the world. We don't see good anywhere we go. It's impossible for us to see good. Therefore, it's kind of impossible for us to be good. You're going to act a butthole. I'm going to act a butthole. We're going to go head to head. And so we walk around with this defense mechanism already up. Like, I'm already ready to fight. I'm always ready. As T.I. say, I don't have to get ready. I stay ready. Therefore, I don't have to get ready. We always ready to fight. Because of those secrets that we keep, that no one knows about how I used to be in my 20s, in my 30s, in my teens. Those things that I've done that I'm ashamed of right now. And so I'm carrying the guilt. And I'll do anything to protect that secret. Anything. You won't find out about that secret. Yeah. And people don't even have to be directly talking to you. You can be in the office and someone's having a conversation and they can say something that triggers one of those inner demons that you have inside of you, triggers something. And automatically you get upset because you think they're talking about you behind your back. Those folks don't even know what's going on in your past. That's just an example. But let's bring it to a personal relationship between husband and wife, between partners. It could be a cool day out on the lake and we're just walking and, the wind is blowing and everything is going great. And then suddenly your partner says something to the effect of, it's getting cold out here. Right? And then all of a sudden you take it as, oh, you don't want to spend time with me? I mean, I asked you to do one thing with me, and that's to walk down the beach with your shoes off and our feet, and you can't even do that. You got to complain about that. Like, what's wrong with you? You're just going off. because they just said one thing. It's getting a little chilly. That ever happened? Like, anybody know what I'm talking about when I say that? Like, have you ever gone off on something so petty, so small, so minute, and it really wasn't about you. They were just making a statement. But because you have all these conversations going on in your head, you can't see past it. You can't see past anything. I am too. I am too. I'm guilty of a lot of things. And remember, guilt was one of our inner demons. Acting in a way that we know is unbecoming. And then being ashamed of it afterwards. And then you move to a place where no one knows what you used to do, how you used to be, and you keep that on the inside. Like, I ain't telling nobody that. That's my business. Nobody needs to know my business. As long as that business is not haunting you at night, it's cool, right? What's another one? Ooh, another one. What leads to all of this guilt and all of the shame and all of the secrets that we're keeping and all of these things that haunt us at night, and what it leads to, and I think I alluded to this earlier, is that now we're in a place where we are incapable of showing affection. See, in affection comes vulnerability. And when I'm vulnerable with someone, that means I'm naked before them. I'm naked. That means everything is showing. Scars, cellulite, rolls, all of my imperfections right there, out in the open. And see, in order for me to be vulnerable, then I have to be affectionate. Affectionate is different from love. But it can't be without love. That makes sense? I feel like I'm talking in riddles tonight. I swear I do. Because all of this is coming like right fresh. It's a part of love. But you can be affectionate with someone and not love them. But you can't love someone and not be affectionate. Figure that one out. Ponder on that. As the young people say, chew on that. Yeah. When I'm vulnerable and I'm naked before you, that means that I trust that what you see won't scare the hell out of you. And so in order for me to get to that place where I can trust you enough to be naked in front of you, I have to let the walls down. I have to share with you those demons. I have to share with you what made me put up a wall, what made me put up a defense mechanism so that I won't be hurt again. And so I'm expecting my partner I'm expecting my partner to comfort me. That only comes when I'm in a place of emotional healing, of releasing those demons, not allowing to be controlled by those secrets anymore. Coming out of the closet. That can be used in so many different ways. But when I allow myself to not be plagued by these demons anymore, that's when I began to walk in emotional healing. That's when I began to be free. That's when I began to lay my head down and sleep and not worry about anything that's coming that's going to hunt me while I'm trying to sleep. The nightmares go away. The sleepless nights go away. The insomnia go away. The tossing and turning go away. Having to sleep with the TV on all night long because you need something to distract you goes away, because you'll be at peace. But as long as you allow these inner demons, and I just named just a couple of them. I'm going to stop a minute to address something. Expect my partner not to use it against me or repeat it. Absolutely. See, that's when that's tricky, Susan. Susan, that's tricky because, see, we have to know who we're connected to. I say this a lot, and I stand by this wholeheartedly. First of all, you guys can't even see my shirt. I love this shirt. Okay, that was a sidebar. The shirt says, "Nope, Satan, not today nor tomorrow." That's what my shirt says. And I absolutely love this shirt. And you can't even freaking see the shirt. But anyway, Susan, and I'm going to talk about this too. It is important that you can't share your story with everyone, because not everyone is going to get it and not everyone is able to handle it. It takes a special person to be able to help you through your emotional healing journey. I can't stand up. I'm sitting on the couch and you don't even want to know my setup, Susan. You don't know, I'm sitting on the couch. I have my little background here. And then if I stand, look, I'm literally, my legs are crossed like Indian style. So you won't be able to see it. It's crazy, right? Yeah. But your partner should be someone who's able to handle, be able to handle all the things that comes along with your emotional healing journey. The triggers that you have. First of all, if you are in therapy, I do highly recommend that your partner goes to therapy with you, because it's not you alone on this journey. Thank you. It's not you alone on this journey. And so your partner needs to know how to be able to cope and handle you when you have those triggers, because the triggers are going to come. They're coming. You have to learn how to cope with them in a healthy way. So when that pain point is pushed, you know how to handle it in a way that is not unhealthy. It's not going to strike back and hurt someone else. But you're going to automatically recognize that it was a trigger, not let it control you, and then move into the self-care regimen, the self-care piece that we're going to talk about over the month, so that the trigger kind of diminishes. It does. Oh my God. That's why I said that's why it takes a unique person. Not everyone that smile in your face and tell you that they love you really can deal with those demons. And that goes both ways. I'm not talking about just me being hurt. And, I'm talking about your partner too. Like, you could be connected to a partner who is in deep pain. And if they're not ready to deal with that pain, guess who's going to take all the hits emotionally, physically sometimes? It takes a strong person, it takes a unique person, and it takes a person designed by God for you. That's why I say you have to be connected to a source that's higher than you. You have to be. In this emotional healing journey, it is a journey, it is a process, it is ongoing. And I wish I can say that, and I hear people say this all the time, you really can't teach anybody unless you're healed. That's a lie. That's a lie from the pit of hell. Because this healing journey is ongoing. Ongoing. You learn how to cope and you learn how to live so that it's not controlling you anymore. Like, how long has this pain controlled you? How long have you been stuck feeling like this and feeling like no one really understands me? I might as well just die. I can't take this anymore. Like, how long have you had these negative, my therapist call it stinking thinking. Yes, I said my therapist, because I see her on the regular, once a month. It used to be once a week when I was really, 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 really bad. But now it's once a month. But I see her because I'm in charge of my mental health. What's the number 5 for, Susan? Tell me what's that for. So how long have I been on? Oh my God. I've been. Oh, okay, I came on at 8:30. I thought I was on at 8. I was like, oh my God, I've been talking for an hour. So is any of this making sense to you? You guys have any questions? Is any of this making sense to you? Again, we're talking about ghosts that keep you awake at night. We're talking about tonight, we're talking about secrets. Tonight, we're talking about things that we may have done that we're not ashamed, that we're not proud of, that we're ashamed to tell somebody that we did. From 5 years old. Oh, wow. That's a long time, Susan. And you know what? I'm so glad that you joined our group. We're going to talk about my group later on tonight. Susan joined last night, I think it was, yesterday. Because see, Susan, the first step to emotional healing is admitting that you need help. The second step is finding someone who can help you. And that someone is someone who's been there and knows how to come out of that place. So you're in the right place. I'm glad that you found us. I'm glad that God directed you to the I Am Empowerment movement. It's amazing how it happened. It really is. We really, like, I think we met in a business group. See, Susan, you're in good company here. This is not like what I'm talking about. And for me, it was 5 as well, Susan. 5 to 9 with the sexual abuse. And then my teens with the physical abuse. And then my early 20s with the spiritual abuse and the emotional abuse. And I can't tell you how many failed relationships I've had. Numerous. But a lot of them, the majority of them, hell, maybe all of them, all of them was because of me because of my fear of letting someone so close to me and all of the thoughts of, you're just going to hurt me just like everybody else. And because I think that, I don't allow people to get too close to me. I have very little friends. My friend circle is small, intentionally. It's intentionally small. Now, I have a lot of families, frenemies. I don't know what they call it. I have friends that I call family. But my friend circle is really, really small. It's very few people that really know my story. And it's hard for me to say that now because now I'm going public and I'm teaching about it. So a lot of people may know my story, but don't really know me personally because I live stream, I run a business. That's what I talk about a lot. I wrote a book. So many people have the book. So they may know that story. But my tight circle where I share those inner demons, because I don't keep them on the inside. I've learned how to find my voice, and I learned the power of my voice. And because I learned that, I also learned who I can trust with that information. That they're not going to throw it back up in my face, that they're not going to use it to hurt me again. Because see, when you put pain on top of pain, you know what you get? A hot ass mess. That's the truth. So do you have any questions for me? I'm going to open it up for questions. I hope I said something that helped you tonight. I have 2 announcements. But before I go into the announcements, I want to take questions. Any questions? Anything, any inner demons that you are battling with, and you want to know how to quiet them. You want to know how to keep their mouth shut. You want to know how to get rid of them. Yeah. And the other thing, Trina, is that people treat you like you're the crazy one. Have you heard that before? When you share some things that you've gone through, when you share things that you've gone through, people either try to isolate you because they can't really deal with all of that. What they call it, all of that crazy. So they rather not be around you, or they try to shame you, or they try to make you feel like you were the cause of everything that happened to you. You know, have anyone, and some people have said this to me too. They've asked me, "Oh, what have you done for someone to do that to you? Like, what have you done in your past life?" I've had someone say that to me before. Yeah, I'm not going to tell you how I responded because it wasn't pretty how I responded. My mouth. This thing right here, honey, ain't no joke. You guys may hear the fireworks outside because it's the 4th of July and they are just like blowing it up outside. Like, can you? Yeah. Yeah, people may feel sorry for you or ask you, why haven't you said anything? I don't say nothing because you don't know how to handle it. A lot of times people can't handle the truth. They can't handle all of the things that you've gone through. When I tell people that I've been sexually assaulted when I was 5 years old, I can't even tell you. I mean, the look of pity on their face. They feel sorry. They don't really know how to respond. So they say, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Or they'll give you a hug. But sometimes it's inappropriate. And so they don't know how to respond. That's why I don't tell everybody. Everybody don't need to know. Not in my inner circle is where I can be Oh, and everyone needs that inner circle where you can share about these inner demons. Because listen, if I haven't said this tonight, yeah, oh my God, yes. Oh, that is number one, Susan. Like, they don't know how to act around you, right? They get around you, they're so uncomfortable. They start sweating, their palms start sweating, and they don't know and they stop calling, the text stop, the phone calls stop. They stop inviting you out to, going out to drink or hangouts or cookouts. They just don't want you around anymore, right? They start acting funny because they don't know how to respond. And that's why I say it's very important that you surround yourself with people who understand. I'm learning to be myself and not what others want me to be. That's awesome. That is for emotional healing, for someone that's in emotional pain. One of the things that we go through is codependency and people pleasing. So that's a result of emotional pain. That's a result of trauma. That's a result of trying to deal with being traumatized, especially for those who as a child was molested. One of the things that we are taught in that act is that if I make you happy, and this is even in a domestic violence situation too, this is even in a physical relationship with your intimate partner. If I do this to make you happy, maybe you won't do that to hurt me. And so you become a people pleaser. And that people pleasing rolls over to every relationship that you have. Susan said something. Yes. And Susan, you're actually leading me right into my next point. It's important to surround yourself with people who understand where you are, understand where you've been, and understand how to move you to your next level. And so that's why I created the group, the I Am Empowerment Movement. That's why I made it closed, because it's for a specific audience. It is the trainings that take place in that group specifically for those who are dealing with trauma or emotional pain that happened when they were a kid. And they're still dealing with it now because, one, they haven't talked about it. Or two, if they talked about it, people use it against them. It caused them to have more pain. You're welcome, Susan. Or three, they just don't, they've talked about it. They've even seen a therapist. They've even went to church and found God, but they still stuck. Like none of that worked. And I'm not saying don't believe in God. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying don't go to church. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying whatever methods you took that didn't work in the past, always try something different. Never give up. Never give up. That's my point. And so I created the I Am Empowerment Movement to help you define your I Am. But God had given me, and see, originally when I created the group, it was to help you define your I am. You define what your I am is. I am healed. I am saved. I am loved. I am magnificent. I am wonderful. I am beautiful. You define what your I am is as you go along this emotional healing journey. Now, everyone is in a different place with their emotional healing, but you get to define that. No one defines it for you. I don't define it for you. You define it. It's important that you define it. But then God gave me a revelation of why he really called it the I Am Empowerment Movement Group, because it is really definitely created and controlled and operated by the I Am himself. God. God is the I Am. And so we're empowered. Thank you, sis. Oh, yes, yes, yes. And thank you, sis, for bringing it up. That's another thing I want to say about the I Am Empowerment Movement. You will not be judged. You will not be criticized. You will not be put down. That is, and anyone in the group that does that will be kicked out of the group. You don't belong there. It is empowerment. Empowerment simply means to give permission to. So you have the power within you to give permission to yourself to live through the pain, past the pain. This group, the I Am Empowerment Movement, let me put the link up again, is for you to find solace and peace within yourself. But you can't do it alone. It takes a community, it takes a support group, and it takes someone who knows what you're going through. And so I'm not the only teacher in the group. Like we all, and I love the group so much because we all encourage one another. There are days when I just don't feel like encouraging anyone. I don't feel like getting up. I don't feel like, I have my down days too. And when I have those days, I can go into the group and someone can say something that can just exactly the word that I need to hear. And it lifts me up. That's the point of the group, is to keep us accountable to our journey. It protects us. We protect each other in the group. So I love that group. If you are an adult survivor of childhood sexual or domestic violence, abuse, please consider joining the group. I have admins in the group. My sister is one of them. She's here in the thread. She'll approve you if you answer the questions right. No, joking. But yeah, if you feel like you're in a place where you're stuck and you've been dealing with this pain for such a long time and you're just ready to try something different, to see something different, I encourage you to join the I Am Empowerment Movement Group. It is definitely movement. You will not leave the way that you came into the group if you implement what's being taught, if you receive what's being taught in the group. And so I have spent enough time on live. It is now time for me to go into my self-care part of the night. I do a self-care regimen every single night before I go to bed, after I do the live, because, after you pour and pour and pour, it's time to receive, right? You give and you receive. Listen. So I hope I said something tonight that kind of helped you, or pissed you off, or called out some of them demons that you're thinking about or that you deal with and that taunts you every night. I hope I said something that kind of helped you throughout this program tonight. Tomorrow night, I will be back online, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I don't know which ghost I'm going to talk about tomorrow night. I never know until the morning of, because that's when it comes to me. But I'm excited that you joined me. Thank you for joining me tonight. Thank you for those who are going to watch the replay. Remember to share this broadcast. Sharing is caring, right? So share this broadcast. Help someone else who may be going through their own secrets, maybe going through their own inner demons that they're holding on to and don't know how to let them go. Share this broadcast with them. Help somebody out. And so until tomorrow night, you guys, I love you. This is Jay, founder and CEO of Matters of My Heart. Also the creator of the I Am Empowerment Movement. I love you. And until tomorrow night, good night.